lived in the village for 10 years.
Chris, I'm sorry, can you just spell your last name?
Sehfer.
Have you lived there for the...
No, 5 years. I lived on Oak Street with my brother for a couple of years. But my biggest concern right now is the Emporium.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've heard it before. I just want to know what, if anything, is being done about the place. They now have this Epic Thursdays on Thursday nights. I don't sleep at night. I woke up 2 Fridays ago. I actually took a bunch of pictures of the beer bottles on our lawns. In the parking lot, the workforce building. There's broken beer bottles, red plastic cups. I'm walking my dog in the morning and there's broken glass everywhere. It's sad. And the fact of the matter is, it's such a great village, and what's being done is absolutely fantastic. And this is putting a real damper on things.
Yes.
You know, I went to school in the Hamptons. I lived in the Hamptons. I lived out there for 5 years. I experienced this. I don't think this is the place for it. I really don't. The restaurants and bars and nightlifes, listen, Friday and Saturday nights, that's okay. Not that it's okay, but it's more acceptable than it is on a Thursday night when people have to get up and go to work. And I don't even live on the outside of the complex. I live on the inside. And I'm hearing cars racing up and down Girard and up and down, I don't know, the other street on the other side. Fights going on, the cops, I mean, people are parking in my complex, there's cops going through there. You know, I've been talking to my neighbors and, you know, they're very concerned as well.
Well, just so you know, we met with the inspector, Mohican, and Greg Heller, who's code, and the owner of the Emporium, and registered those complaints very directly with them. Suffolk County PD, which has, unfortunately, the most control, the issue that we have in terms of our control over that is limited, very, very limited. But I think working with Suffolk PD, they've assured us, and we will keep, I will make sure that Officer Heller, Sergeant Heller, I'll take your complaint, and I will also talk to one of the reasons you heard, we're adding more public safety on.
Right, yeah.
So which is a shame that we have to pay for that, that the taxpayer has to pay for that. But it is the circumstances.
I see the village Patchogue workers cleaning all this stuff up in the morning. It's not the right place.
No,
it
it's
really
not.
isn't.
But it's, like I said, it's a very difficult thing for us to control. On the sense of him allowing to have the business or not have the business. It's how we put the pressure on them to Suffolk PD and our public safety. We'll do whatever we can do.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time.
I just wanted to, because I was in on that meeting, what I would suggest is that if you see something that's out of normal, that looks like it's against the law, call the police. Please do. Don't wait till the next week and come here and say, you know, this is going on. If you see public urination, public drinking, people coming in there and parking their cars illegally in your space, call the police, call Patchogue Village Code. You have their number?
No, I don't.
There you go. It's 475-1225. And anything you see that's obvious violation of village code, please call. But that's the only way we can handle it if you do get the calls.
Okay.
If we do get the calls.
All right, excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. John Bogack at Mountain Street. 4 things, and they'll be open quick. I hope so, anyway. I don't know if the gentleman who was complaining about the Emporium was here, but you know the zoning board already knows held 4 or 5 hearings before they renewed the special permit for the Emporium. Most of those issues that were identified by that individual was brought forth by other people, a number of people. And as a result of that, the zoning board took a very special approach, which was to grant them a 1-year special permit to control those issues.
But there's a certain number of conditions as part of that.
Right. So I would suggest, in addition to the meeting with the police, it's now been about a month since the zoning board reached this decision. We'd be interested to see whether or not the Emporium is in compliance at this point in time with what was granted by the zoning board.
We have those. We have the special conditions were, I assisted in the drafting of special conditions, so there were a bunch of issues that got raised to that, including their responsibility for security outside the premises to an hour after they closed. We based a lot of those conditions on conditions that were imposed on establishments in the city by New York City community boards, because the bars and clubs that are in neighborhoods, almost like that little corner of Patchogue is almost like a little urban city, because you have a mix of your downtown residential, or downtown commercial, but you also have right up against it dense residential. So we look towards the city New York community boards as a model, and a lot of those conditions came out of that. But those conditions are only about 30 days old now, and the building department is going to start actively enforcing those and checking those, and the Director of Public Safety is aware of what those requirements are too. Observe that there is the lack of security as required. Those are all going to become part of the record for that ultimate shortened renewal.
Okay, so you're not going to be, like in the instance that occurred here, the Emporium somehow went over its permit, so went for a long time actually, without anyone seemed to be noticing it, whatever happened. But in this case, there's going to be more attention?
Oh yeah, no question.
Okay, okay, that's good. That was my suggestion.